People, let's go. This is December, the last book of the year. We are 12 book in, folks. 12 books in. Yay! Clap. You guys have read more than a lot of people. Come on now. That's the spirit. Welcome back, listeners. If you've been rocking with us 12 times this year, you're a real one. Appreciate you. This is our last book of the year, and it is befitting of the title, right? AKA Dirty December. You get the whole gist at the end. But today we are exploring a bold and unflinching book titled Nearly All the Men in Lagos Are Mad by Damilare Kuku. It's a collection of 12 short stories that takes us through the messy, outrageous, deeply emotional world of relationships in Lagos, right? From infidelity to societal pressures, heartbreaks to healing, this book covers it all. Okay? Maybe just like your year, whatever. But as we dissect the characters, stick with us. You share your favorite moments if you've read the book. If you haven't, please do and drop a comment in the comment section, wherever. And let us know what resonated with you. If you relate, if you don't relate, whichever way, say something. Okay. Before this episode is in collaboration with Stuck in the Middle podcast, and this is Palm Central Book Club. Hey, we're starting back next year, so make sure you join. Okay, don't be an illiterate. Read books. All right. Before we get into it, how's everybody doing?
From that, I'm very good. I'm very good. You are just. Anyways. What is today? Happy Friday, y'all. No, it's Saturday. Sorry. Happy Saturday, y'all. Hope everyone is doing great. It's a great weekend. Very chill. Cold. Hope everyone is warm. I beg, stay in your homes, though. Don't go outside into the roads. But yeah, ready for this one. I'm getting all men in Lagos are mad. Yeah, ready for this book. I don't know about y'all, but let's get into it.
All right, my name Babs. How y'all doing?
Good. I love your energy. In fact, you started with the madness, the craziness of me telling everyone.
I have to match the energy of the book.
We love it. That's how we're going out the year with the bang. Happy Saturday, guys. I hope everyone is well. I'm excited about this book. Really, I'm really excited about it. So I cannot wait for us to dive in.
All right. While you're at it, you recommended this book.
Why? Well, it was a recommendation from somebody else that it was just something it was going to make you laugh, and they were true to that. It's hilarious. The stories is like your emotions are everywhere. It gives you up and down, but it kept you on your feet. So I loved it. It's a funny book at the end of the day. Just
okay then. Vane, how you doing?
Besides the cold, I'm looking forward to dissecting the book because it was too confusing. I don't know if it's because it's my first time reading a book of that. How you call those type of books? Short stories?
Mm-hmm.
I'm used to reading a book with a flow. Sometimes I have to go back and be like, what did I miss? Because this story is not connected to the next one. I have to be like, oh no, there are 12 different short stories. So let's see how this unfolds.
That's actually perfect because that's going to be my next question, right? But I'm just going to ask Uncle Eke. Uncle Eke, what was your initial reaction from the title, reading the book?
The title. I'm getting all men in Lagos. I'm mad. Actually, when I was reading the book, I didn't want to know why the men are mad. I didn't want to guess it because it could be anything, right? It could be anything, but I really wanted to know why they were mad. And from reading it, I was like, yeah, son, this nigga is crazy. But I'm not gonna put some things that it did past me. I'm a man too. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand. I can see these things happen. But on the flip side, the women talking about it too, sharing their experiences was like, damn, I'm like, damn, I'm sorry, went through that, but shit, the show is shaking, man. Anyways, that was my initial, reaction to it. Some story. I don't know which one. Which one was it? Catfish? Was it Catfish? Man, Catfish had me sitting scratching my head like, bro, people have had on this planet Earth, man. Like, uh, anyways, I'm giving too much. But the book,
Yes, you
very
are.
interesting.
All right, before we go on, right, just what you call it, a heads up, right, for the listeners. This book has different chapters, but the different chapters are unrelated, independent stories. Okay, so if you hear some characters that don't relate, we are not drunk. We know what we're talking about. That was how. Just putting that out there, because they'll be like, "Hey, why was this character?" Please, that was the book. Okay, don't fight us. Now, in that light of having to read like short story formats and all, right? Mane mentioned that he was kind of confused. Anybody else had that reaction? Like, did at the end, did he make the book? What kind of experience did you get from reading that book? Is this your first of its kind?
I was in the first. Okay, so the very first story, right? When I started the initial story, I'm like, okay. At the end of it, it went to a different story. I had to go back and listen again. So hold on, what did I miss? So it threw me off. It was from the first to the second. Then is when I got to the second story, I realized, oh, each chapter is a completely different story. Okay, we can go with it. We can go with it. I just went with the flow. I was just expecting to see what the next one was. So it was, if anything, it kept me on my feet. I was excited about the next story because to me, the more I read it, the more it just kept getting better and funnier. And as Uncle Oke say, the man were mad. It's like they were mad.
Okay, do you share that sentiment?
Yeah, for sure. The very first, well, let me go back. It started with, I'm about to chop off this man's penis. Something
That's
in that
literally
line.
the first line of
You know
the
what I'm
book.
saying? And I'm like, yo, first of all, man, I had to sit back a little bit like, oh, hold on, man, this is not normal. Like, why would walk away first? That shouldn't even be the first thing on your mind. But let's uncover why. So when I was reading, all of a sudden, like, is somebody going to tell me why this woman wants to show this guy's penis or what's going on here? Like, how did you just, I went back, I was like, oh, it's short stories. It skipped to the next one without telling me why she was about to do it. I was like, anyways, let's just keep going. And then the more, I went in, the stories just kept getting crazier and crazier. But that initial first part, I don't know about others, but when I did, a little Google research to show me like reviews on the book, everybody, the very first thing was that very first line, can put the book down. Some people read it in 2 hours. I don't know how, but good for you. But that very first line is very captivating. So I would encourage everybody to read it. I really do like short stories. Contrary to Mane's own reading style of the whole. Yeah, I really do like short stories. It's a lot easier to digest, and you can read one a day, or you can read one in the morning and one at night if you're not a reader. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Now let's get into some meat, right? The stories tackled everything under the sun, pretty much. Almost everything under the sun, right? What themes spoke to you most deeply? And tell us why. And throw in a little sprinkle.
Like I said, there are too many themes that to me it got confusing. But I think the one that stood out to me is in fact, all of the themes kind of like.
Okay, let me make it, that was kind of vague. Let me bring it down this way. Which story spoke to you the most?
The I Knew You story.
Okay. Why? Let's get into it.
I think that it connects to the previous book we read of how childhood experiences affects adulthood lifestyle, and to see that it was another man, having to experiencing that. If anything, that's probably one of the stories that stood out to me the most.
Yeah, that man lost He lost one of the most important things to him because of trauma, because he was not willing to do. It was kind of sad, I think, to me, to see him lose, and he knew deep down in his soul that I was like, I fucked this up. But then he couldn't help himself. The one where the guy was the musician, and he fell in love with the lady, and had 2 kids, moved in, but didn't want to marry because he was afraid.
Yes.
He's the
one who was a doctor, right? She quit being a doctor.
She quit going to medical school. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, whoa, that must be some real kind of love.
No, she was mad as well.
Like, yeah, because I was like, to me, I feel like she was the one that was, because the guy clearly told you that this is not.
That's what I did not understand. I'm like,
so that's why I said that story stood out to me, because in the madness part, I feel like it was a girl, because he told you. I mean, but yeah, that's maybe just me.
Yeah, that goes to tell you sometimes women hear what they want to hear, don't we?
No, in that case, she kind of did.
Yeah, because he clearly said it, and well, she put him on the spot at the wedding, at an event. You didn't have to do that, because he had told you that this is my issue.
Yeah, so that he doesn't want to get married.
So you either help him, let him work through it, or you leave him alone. If he doesn't want to work through it, I guess maybe it's just my way of seeing things, in the sense that if I feel like I cannot meet somebody somewhere and you're not willing to do the work to help yourself, I'm not pulling your weight. I'm not dragging you. I'm not trying to convince you otherwise, because I don't know what exactly your childhood traumas were. And in as much as I have an insight into psychotherapy, I don't want to have to do that, because it's a conflict of interest kind of thing. There's personal emotions there. Yeah.
I mean, in this story, right, both of them were mad, in the sense where the fact that she first of all left school, I wanted to smack her for that. But she broke up with him and he kept going back. She left twice. She did leave twice. And he went and begged. So this is the sense that he didn't tell her that they don't want to get married, but also he understood what she wanted. You understand? So both of them were just mad. That's the thing. The end of the story was no one, but both of them were crazy, because I do agree in the sense that both of them knew what each other want, but nobody wanted to accept the reality of it and just come to them and say, it is what it is, just fuck it, what it is. It is. There's nothing we can do. And make her parents understand. Like she kept trying to change him, but she didn't want to change because she already told you that she wasn't going to do it. And she kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and she got to her end of it and said, that's it. So you cannot blame her, but you cannot blame him either. You know?
Right.
I mean, I don't know. But to me, I blame her because she knew that he said it. It's not like he was going about wanting her to read his mind. No.
But she didn't say it too, though. He kept going back to get her twice.
Then she should have refused if she knew that he didn't want marriage, but she wanted it. And
both of them should have taken accountability. We're going to see this. Both of them were mad in this sense. Both of them were mad.
So let me ask you this, Babs. Put this scenario. Say you were this girl. This guy is the love of your life. 2 kids. He doesn't want marriage. Will you compromise if you were her and not get married and just build your family? If you were her.
See, in America, right, depending on the states, if anything happens, we're talking about assets, you understand? There's common law marriage. Anything happen in Africa, it does not work the same way. I don't know what her hair was, so I don't know where her hair was. If the guy says she don't want to get married, if that girl should have sat down and done a internal process and say, okay, this is what it is. We're just going to be us like this. We're not going to keep $8 last name. We're going to die all together. We're just going to be long-term partners and don't ordain it under God. But since Hanti was trying to change him and he did not want to change, so both of them were crazy in this sense.
Monday, would you have done it differently?
I mean, it depends. If I was in Nigeria, Africa, because I don't know if it's. I'm always trying to understand why somebody chooses to do or not to do something. And if I understand the depth of it and I truly want it, want to be married, and it also depends on why you want to be married. Is it like a societal thing for you to be seen as somebody's wife, or is it paperwork based things? Because here in the US, that's what it is. So it's kind of evaluating why you want what you want and what you're willing to compromise. And if you're not willing to compromise, then go your separate way. And if the guy keeps coming back, just remind the guy why you left in the first place. If he's not willing to change, you're not willing to change. Anybody should mind your business. I mean, as a kid together. Maybe I'm just thinking that way because. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Finish.
Maybe I'm just thinking that way because it's hypothetical and I've never really been in a situation. But I'm not. I don't think that I am in the business of trying to convince people to see otherwise if they don't and they're not open. If they're not open-minded in the first place.
Facts. But the question again too is, why she getting pregnant if the guy was saying that he doesn't want to get married? Why she getting pregnant?
Maybe she wanted to have kids.
Yeah, she wanted to have kids, right? But she shouldn't be banking on the fact that someday he will come and propose or get married. You know what I mean? Because that's not what he said he wanted. But you're just going ahead and doing this thinking that something is going to change, which is not really the case. So, you know what? I think that in this book, they keep saying that all the men in Lagos are mad. I think everybody is mad in this book, to be honest with you.
Everybody.
Everybody's mad.
No, everybody was, even the women as well.
Okay, since everybody is mad, what's your own story that activated me the most?
My own story is the one where that guy knew that he was impotent from as a kid, and he paid doctors. He paid doctors to tell this woman that they cannot have kids for 3 years. Yes. Just for him to wake up one day and say, and he's crying here, delivering the message. Oh, I cannot. Man, even me listening, I had chills. I'm like,
I just had chills as you told the story, and I'm like, yeah, that one was really mad.
I think the title was the first something.
No, the first time was the other one. This
was the other one.
Yes.
Yeah, that story is crazy. I mean, like, and then the crazy part was he ended with her saying that that his thing is useless because it's his tongue that does all the magic. It's his thing that I was like, damn, wait to finish, but still, it's like, yeah, I don't know. Let me ask you guys this, right?
No.
Let's say, for example, a guy did this. Will you guys? Let's say a guy did this, right? And then the statute of limitations to such a thing is now if you kill somebody like that, you're good. Will you actually execute them if they did some shit like this to you?
I'll sue you for everything you got, right to the kidneys in your body.
See, let me,
because that's fraud.
Your liver has more money.
Yes, that's fraud. That right, you can actually sue someone for fraud. He married you withholding pertinent information.
Mm-hmm.
It's not pertinent. He bought his uncle that tortured the girl for years.
Yes, that uncle, man.
The audacity of this impotent man to want to live and carry every last earthly possession of that woman in that house. He came back from work and he cleaned up the entire house and ran away.
That won't paint me.
So he's impotent, broke, and he's a coward.
Mm-hmm.
And a thief.
Yeah.
That one is pretty straightforward. It's like you're going to hell straight.
And that story in that book, man. And that story in that book was the guy who was cheating on his girlfriend, all the way even to when they were at the party and he just finished talking to her and then walked outside and was, and then that chick was giving him head outside.
At his birthday that she organized.
Oh,
this book is wild.
That's right.
I actually went to my archives now. I compared my stories to the story that said, nah, come way close. I give it up to these guys, man. You know what I'm saying? Because at some point, I'm thinking, God, please forgive me for my atrocities. But now when I hear other people's shit, I'm like, I'm nowhere close.
Feel bad.
I'm nowhere close because
At some point, I was like, wait, are these stories people's lived experiences? This is.
I mean, I think it's fiction, but I'm
Some of them
positive.
are positive.
I'm
It's a real
positive
time.
somebody, because I know some of the stories that I know some people in real life who've
Mhm.
done. Right.
every single one of them is real.
Yes.
Every single one of them is real. I
Mine.
trust my gender very well to do some shit like that. I trust with all my full chest. I trust them to do some shit like this. I'm not even gonna lie. I trust them. I have seen and heard. So I'm not even worse. This one is some of them is child's play. Some of them is child's play. So yeah, I cannot put it past my gender.
That's what's your story.
Oh God, I have two. So the first one is first time. The one that Ike was talking about, the guy that cheated for the girlfriend. The girl cheated the birthday. They beat her after when she went and gave the guy head outside. She wanted to do shaking out. They whooped her ass. And then she finished. They got married to the house. She thought the guy had changed, came down. The guy was getting some from the housemaid. That story was very sweet to me. Do you know why? It was the end of it.
When she flipped the table, son.
And it's how chill, the way she was very nonchalant about it. The moment to say, shut up. I own everything in this house. Don't even call him out. I said, okay, like, so you were doing all of this shakara that it was her that was bankrolling you. And then
I know, right?
And then it was just that it was how calmly she did it. That revenge was served sweet. And then she finished and went to another man that adored her. And she carried her money and went there. I was like, hey!
Yeah, he was the one crying up and down.
It was how he cried. Yes. That's how it should be done. That was very sweet.
Wasn't it funny though when she outrightly told him that yes, I'm fooling somebody else, and he started calling her all this.
Honestly,
you are a harlot, cheap prostitute, and I'm like,
and it was how she responded. Oh, she was very calm about it. She's like, oh no, don't yell. Yes, and then she told him who the man was. Like, that's
isn't it funny how he couldn't handle the taste of his own medicine?
He did. It was very intriguing to me. And then the second story was the pastor and his wife. Okay, you see how they say everybody in this book was mad. That was the story I was thinking about.
Yeah, she went through lengths to try to protect him, and I was just like,
that Daddy Gio needs to go to hell on a first class ticket.
do not collect 200.
I listened to that story, and at some point I was like, you know what? Maybe this girl's just lying on this man. And then here she comes in her book after she had done interviews and everything, and she's like, oh, she wrote a tell-all book on her relationship with the pastor, and the wife was still seriously supporting the husband. I'm like, this girl might just be a gold digger. And that one line that he always says during sex, say, let's go and welcome God to the bed, or the heavens to the bed, or something. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. This woman,
you guys didn't see that coming?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's what I'm saying. That right, she supported the man, and he played the role so well. At some point, I started convincing myself, like, you know what? She might, like, his whereabouts were fishy. She had to even go and doctor evidence of where the man was. But because remember, when they gave the story, they didn't give us any background that he had even been cheating like that. So there was no cause for alarm, and I was like, it might be true. And then the way she doubled down and the man was unsuspecting. So I was like, she might, there's a possibility this girl's lying. When she said that line, I was like, wow, Daddy G.O.
Let me tell you, when somebody says that, we die here, that means I'll fight for what I have built. I'm not going to let go of it. Just know, there is something they know that regardless of what, is not going to change their stance that, we die on this hill right here. So to me, the minute she said that, this girl thinks I'm going to leave what I've spent my time building, X, Y, Z, I was like, oh yeah, there's something to this, starting, most of all, again, I mean, I'm sorry to say this, but most pastors, man, I can never put most of these things past them, Again, we are talking about people who women go to them for prayers. Women, and then it's not like when they go for prayers, they wear the choir gown. Some of them walk in there, then they have naked. These are human beings. These are human beings with feelings and everything. What do you think they're gonna do? At some point in time, they will touch their head like I said, God said I should touch you like this, or touch you, squeeze some more, baby. You cannot. Sometimes I cannot even blame them. I'm just saying.
Need to be in that book still, your own chapter.
And the pastor to Daddy Gio was freaky.
That man, I just had this picture of him, like not very average height, big stomach, and just very, very freaky man. From the way the way the wife will imitate his voice, my husband. So I was like, okay, I just had that image. And she was like, I read things that my husband did in this book. I was like, this could not have been my husband. Who knows only one style, missionary. This girl said she licked her everywhere but north. By the way, to the listeners, please, if you get this book, get the audio, but make sure you use your headphones. do not listen to PG-13. Yes, it's not PG-13. It's very graphic. Don't listen to it in public or to the hearing of somebody else, because the book will embarrass you.
Mane said something earlier about the man he could not get the taste of his own medicine, right? He could not taste his own medicine.
He could not handle it, right?
Yeah, he cannot handle
the taste of it.
Yeah. Let's touch on that a little bit. You know what I mean? Okay. For men is that, right? You cannot handle that, this and that. On the flip side is accountability, for women. On the other side, it's accountability, right? But put accountability aside real quick. In terms of handling, I felt as though, if I was him, I felt as though, in that particular moment, they say, strength, no weakness. Regardless of what, just stay strong, my brother, stay strong. No matter what you say, don't break. Do not break in a moment like that, because that's the defining moment that shows how this thing is going to go. So if you show weakness, she's going, stomp on you for forever. So regardless of what is said, just compose yourself, fold your arms and act like whatever is happening here is not touching you in any way, shape, or form, and keep it moving. After that, there is no way she can come out. But anyways, I agree with you that, sometimes, what you dish out, you can't take, but it goes both ways. It goes both ways. And I might even say that women's one is worse, but I don't want to fight, but I will say it's even worse on the women's side, because.
Goes both ways in what sense?
In the sense of like, you two, you cannot, what you dish out, you cannot take it back if it's given to you.
I think that goes for everybody. Things we dish out, we cannot handle. That's just
so it goes both ways. Yeah, I mean, no human being that does things like that, that is done to them, will appreciate it, unless you really didn't give a fuck. You know, but I think that guy, he just could not believe, you know, he really could not believe in, even if somebody showed him in the mirror that this woman would do this, he still would have refused. You know, so for him, you know, to have had, you know, dealt that blow, it was just like, damn. But most of all, the phone was right there for 4 days. Guy couldn't even realize that. My guy, like, you really trust that much? For somebody who's causing all the atrocities, you really trust that much?
I think it was trust to me. I think it was just he because people like that, right, are narcissists, and the first thing they try to do is break you down to a point where you have no help, you don't know where else to go, right? So he had successfully done that to this woman all these years, that killed her self-esteem. She was the one making the money, the most money. He had just damaged her to a point where she didn't even see herself. So he could not in his wildest dream think that another man would look at this woman and see her for who she truly was, because he had done a fabulous job as destroying her. So that's why he could not be bothered. I don't think it was trust. He just knew that he had deconstructed her effectively, that she ain't going nowhere. Now
that sounds like Sheila Johnson.
Yes.
Yeah. I was just thinking about that as you said that. Yeah.
They do that.
Did you say the other? I think Barbara said she had two. Did you say the other?
Oh, did you say the other story, Babs?
Yes.
Yes.
The first guy and then the pastor.
Okay, cool.
Well, I say mine is the beard gang, right?
That story did not make sense to me. Honestly, that's the second time I had to go back and listen, because I'm like, am I missing something?
That story made plenty sense.
Beard gang is the one on the plane. Beard gang is the one that started in the plane.
No, the one where the bunch of the
Sexuality?
women, yes, the women were all married to men who were high status in society but were gay.
Hey, yes.
Yes.
So were they gay or bisexual?
No, they were gay.
They were gay.
Listen,
they just had children.
Let's agree to this right now, okay? Please, let's agree to this. As a man, I want to hear this shit. If you take one, please don't be telling me this nonsense that you are bi. You're already taking. It's not like you go and then they said half, and you're like, oh no, it's half. That's why. Nigga, what? I don't care if it's a tip. It still went in there. Gay. Let's agree. Let's move on, please. I mean, there's nothing like bi. I don't know what this bi thing is about. I really don't know why
they were married to women, and they were.
I don't deny it.
Yeah, but they were not attracted to the women. They just married the women to cover up their gay, because they had live-in and side boyfriends that the women
they were
knew
not
about.
Sexually. They were not sexually.
They just had the women to have. They just had the women to have their children and cover up. That was it.
Yeah.
So which means they were sexually, together, which makes them bi and not just gay.
No, I think the sexuality piece is the attraction. That's what makes the sexuality thing.
So I'm not denying.
It's the attraction.
But I'm not denying that the term bisexual does not exist. I'm not denying that. Right. I'm not denying that what you're thinking, it's true. What I'm saying is, it should not be like that. So far, the man has tested it. You are gay. On that period. What's this biting about? Now, if you want to not be gay, leave the whole thing altogether and renounce that doctrine and join the other people that know man and woman. But if you don't know man, woman, you are gay, please. Let's not be to listen.
Yeah, it is confusing to me. That's why I say it. First, the title of the BA gang, I was looking forward to something else. I was not looking forward to
I was too. So
when the thing was rolling, I'm like, wait, is this still BA gang or has the story changed? And I went back all the way, and even the second time, it still didn't make sense. I'm like, okay, this will just not make sense. Next.
I think the whole beard gang thing was just this illusion too. People always go to the party, you see these men of high caliber. They always have beard, well dressed, but they have a complete alternate lifestyle in secret, right? So I guess that's what it was alluding to, in my opinion, because it was a tight knit circle. The women had their support group, it was very fantastic to me. They had a whole support group. They met once a month. Oh no, it was weekly on Sundays at the restaurant. Then the group grew and they had to go and rent a Airbnb, and they had their Sunday support groups in there. And the group finds boyfriends for the husbands, people they can manage. It was a well-oiled system. I was like, so that's why you see me, I would never go anywhere and see a couple and be like couple goals. I have never and never will. Because the things that people do behind closed doors to hold their marriages, yeah, that was.
See, that story, do you know what stood out for me most? It was the business side of it.
Yes, let's talk about that.
It was so well. Like, these women were rich. I said, go do whatever I want to do. I'll build for myself and my family. I will build. These women were collecting properties around the world, and the bank account was bank accounting, the ones that had sense. I'm like, that was the one that was fascinating to me. I was like, damn, okay, all right.
See, that's the importance of mentorship right there. Because they had the older women who'd been married for years, who knew how to run things. And they mentored the younger girls who just got married to their men and mentored them on how to move money. And so it was beautiful to me. Yes, Baba Shegi's wives. It's just, at the end, I love the leader. I forgot what her name was. The president of the wives.
Yes.
That one was petty though. She did that young girl dirty.
Yes,
she's like, when she joined, she was running her mouth that her husband can never. These women who marry husbands while with men, her husband can never. When she found out, she came crying. That woman said, I'll show you. Took her $10,000 and gave it to her husband's boyfriend to go and start a new life.
And encourage your husband's boyfriend that when you get there, in fact, at first I thought she was going to give him the money to stay away, but no.
That's what I thought she was going to do, to give him the money to stay away. Mama gave her and said, go to America, make sure you collect money.
And you go to school, make him, before you reach there, tell him to put you in school.
Get you a
house bought in Miami.
In your name, because
in your name. I was like, auntie, that woman really got under your skin. And then she just acted.
And acted like she helped the woman out. And that
the man will still leave.
See, everybody running mad in that book, not just the men.
It was.
Listen, we are not Michelle Obama. If you meet a mad person, you act accordingly. Otherwise, they will run you out the streets. So,
let me ask you guys this question.
Much energy.
Let me ask you guys this question, right? With the women that as women, do you leave a guy because he cheated or no?
Me, I'll say it depends.
It depends.
Okay, elaborate.
It depends on what the cheating entails, how long it's been going before I find out who it is, if there's a child involved, all of that.
Same for all of you?
Yep.
Huh?
Like, I would want to know why. That would be my first instinct. Yeah. Why? The reasoning behind that.
Okay. Cool. So, I was just asking because me as a guy, like, yeah, I want to know why, and then that's about it. After I've known my why, it doesn't matter the why. I just wanted to know, just to feed my curiosity, and then that's it. There's no real reason behind it. I don't want to do anything with the why. I just want to know. So I don't know if that's the same for,
So would the why make a difference? Are you going to stay either way?
I'm not staying, first of all. I just want to know. Yeah, I just want to know. Yeah.
But if you cheat, you want to beg for forgiveness, huh?
And then if she agrees, this what's my problem there? Am I the one agreeing? It's her problem, not my own.
You know, you're not the first guy. I have a friend who actually told me he's married. And, he steps out and he told me up front and said, if he ever finds out his wife cheated, he's done. I'm like, but she has forgiven you for your extracurricular activities. He said, yeah, that's based on her own principles. But his principles, if she cheats, he's done. It's like, let her not think because she forgave me, I'm going to forgive her. It's like, I'm done. And I was like, okay, that's an interesting theory.
So this book, so the two stories, right? I want to talk about because it has to do with friendship, the girls and the guy. So I think the first story was a guy one, and the last one was a female one, the one that grouped her friend and then collected the money. I don't know.
That girl wine waste.
Oh my goodness.
I wanted to buy the sister a drink. Like
Instagram buddies.
She really was an Instagram buddy.
Listen,
she helped that boyfriend and gave him the time of his life.
And he
Let's talk about that
she
real
is
quick.
next door. She's sleeping in her room next door.
Hold on, let's talk about that real quick, right? Let's talk about it real quick. Because I read that thing and I was like, what would a woman expect a guy in that situation to do, right? So say, for example, he came to knowing that he's about to go down. And then she pulls that step. Now, is it his fault for going to the roommate and having the time of his life?
No.
Yes.
Does she blame him or no?
It still is. It
Why?
is.
Why?
Because accountability.
Okay, I can't.
Well, she saw something that she didn't have.
Yeah, but still, that's not enough reason to do what he did, right? Granted, it put him he had his back to the wall, right? But it's just sex. He'll survive. No, I'm very serious. It's sex and he would have survived. But he made a conscious decision to react. Now they're both wrong, but he made a conscious decision to go and sleep with the girlfriend's roommate next door. He didn't even think twice about it. He was like, fuck it, I'm already hard. Literally is what he said. So,
but that's what he came there for.
Okay, so that is actually right. Do you know what it means for you to have visualized having, I don't want to be rash, but banging somebody for months upon months? You planned, the girl finesse you, take you out. The girl wasted his time on purpose. I am all for women, but that girl was mad. Wasted his time, knowing fully well that she's not going to do half of the shit that she wants to do. And then
she was not going to do anything.
She was not going to do it. And then she did not even, she did not, how they say get it, try, right? The babe did not try at all. With the things that she was disgusted by the man, if anything. So the guy was frustrated, right? And he was hard. He wanted to have sex. Granted, his emotions, yes, took ahead. He went out and there's somebody standing butt naked. Let me tell you something, If I go to a man's house and you say you bend me upside down, you don't want to do it, I'm already angry. You think I want to come and see somebody standing with that dick dingling? Yeah, your head will not spin two ways. It will spin. You are a human being. You are human. You cannot tell me that.
You will not. I'm telling you.
You are human. It will spin.
Will not. It will not. I'm telling you something.
The guy is a human. He said it. He was hard. He needed to stick it somewhere. The friend was out there ready. And the friend gave him a time.
He could have gone to the bathroom and rubbed it. Why was that not an option?
If the girl wasn't across the room, okay, but like I said, the Instagram body lured him.
He did. She was wrong.
In the beginning is her fault.
She did. And I was thinking to myself, like, I mean, the worst she could have done is just give the guy bad sex. You know what I mean? Because she had said all these things, she was gonna swing from the ceiling and the 5 foot story and all these things. And the guy comes and she doesn't know. I was like, the worst that can happen is to just lay there.
Yeah.
Just the
That's what I'm
worst,
saying, that
the next best thing should have just been give the guy a bad sex experience and just say, "Oh, I was nervous. It was our first time."
Thank you. She did not.
But she turned around and went to sleep.
See, I felt bad for the guy. I was really
in a lace nightgown.
the guy. Like, what the hell?
That's a problem.
Yeah, not
In that case, she was mad.
No, that's why I think she was the one that was mad. And then her friend was madder because the friend was madder. Because the friend was not doing any of that, all of that to help her, right? To boost her esteem. No, she was doing it for herself. And then when the guy, because she knew that the girl was not going to pull through, and it's like you know how you create a trap for somebody to fall into. That girl created a perfect trap for her friend to fall into, and the yeye girl like entered that bam.
Yeah,
and she knew. That's why when I was waiting outside, as that guy came out, the girl was standing naked. Maybe his thing stood back up, and he's like, he went and collects. I'm like,
that's what we said. Right, finish before.
I was going to say this particular story is actually it's something that happens like it happens quite often out here more than we get. Like it's very very relatable to a lot of girls.
See, let me tell you something. This one is even better. What about the one that you know the guy is finishing from there? The friend has already texted like, "Yo, can I high five in?" You know what I mean? And then they pass it on, and it's vice versa too. You know, guys to also pass chicks too. Like, it's really nothing under the sun. But wait, let's think about this critically. Why is that most of the times? Why is that most of the time is always the quote unquote beautiful ones that act like that? Then when the guy now will turn and go now for the less beautiful one is, oh, you go for a less beautiful person. But the beautiful one, they act like they're like, what's the word I'm looking for? You know what? Yeah, they just act the way they act, you know. Why are you blaming the guy? Again, why are we blaming the guy in this situation when pretty women want to act like that, and then the other ones are like, hey man, you know, I'm not that pretty, so I could compensate in X, Y, and Z. Is it their fault? Is it his fault? Accountability where? The person that's supposed to be taking account here.
It's the accountability way.
The person that's supposed to be taking account here is the person who said, like, we all agreed that was hung from chandelier. They painted this facade, this picture. And then now, time to deliver. You don't even 5%. No. Come. Wait, first of all, even you're making all that noise because you don't have balls. You don't know what it is to have blue balls. So of course you run your mouth and be talking nonsense. Oh, you can wait. Oh,
we have their own version of blue balls too.
I'm not talking about you guys here. I'm talking about we the men. Have you ever driven with blue balls? Do you know what it means to be driving with blue balls? Do you know what it means?
I have given quite a few blue balls in my
and then go wonder them and ask them how it felt driving home. What if they even made it home? If they didn't go and branch and go to some other chick's house?
Well, if you branch, then that's on you. You still cannot blame me for that.
I mean, I'm not saying they're blaming you, right? But I'm saying that. But I'm saying, well, if you had painted a picture that, or you gave a reason that something was supposed to happen, and they came and it didn't happen, now that's your fault. But if you did not paint that picture, and they came expecting something that you did not paint, then that's their fault.
True, I agree with you on that part.
Yeah. So don't come and say, oh, you know what? When I come here, you give me a hand job. And that's all I expect. I come there now, and all of a sudden you want to have sex. No, please, that's all I agree for. Just give me a hand job and go me in peace. I beg. You know what I'm saying? Touch it. Just saying. You know, people should be able to.
So now, let's talk about the guys. This is more for you, Uncle AK. The friend that was getting married, like the
serial husband.
Yes. So the story was very interesting to me. It was the one I wanted to slap that friend that gave up his shares because he was heartbroken and sold a company. That was prominent. I moved. I don't know what is wrong with, but anyway, that's my personal feelings. Let me calm down. I want, I want to hear your thoughts on that friend. Like, was the issue, right? I don't even remember the one that sold his shares and moved. He was heartbroken and it kind of destroyed the relationship. But the guy, the serial married person, right? Was it wrong that he married that Muslim girl? Even though we know that he married for the wrong reason, but he did not know that his friend was into that girl. Except I missed that part of the book. Like, is it like an unwritten rule, something? Because the book said they were kind of signs, but the guy did not do shit. So the other guy jumped in and did it and ended up marrying the girl, and he got his feelings and went away.
I mean, the honest truth is, even the most bravest of us, we still get our feelings hurt every now and then, by both the male species and the female species, but end of the day too, humans will always be humans, right? But at some point, to be honest, if I got up and, one of my guys had like some relation with my ex, of course it's going to feel bizarre, but I cannot deny it. It will feel bizarre, but I cannot deny it. I cannot say, oh, such a thing cannot happen. But also, too, I cannot put it past them that such a thing could happen. Same as I don't want anybody to put such a shit past me, even though I don't think I'm yet that crazy. Maybe, but still, it's just life. You know what I mean? Shit happens. Now, when it comes to money, I don't know how people put emotions and money together. I beg, bro. I beg, please don't want to piss me off. I'm not selling shit. See, even if we are enemies, we will sit in that boardroom together as enemies. As so far you are getting your own, getting my own. Let nobody stress. Let nobody. You said stress for what? But then again, there are also men, like us that are very emotional. That probably pull some shit like that too. But when it comes to money, I don't know. Maybe something else, but not money.
He's emotional.
No, yeah, not like personal. Yeah, we're emotional, But when it comes to money, I don't think that will pull some shit like that. Like, I'd rather stop talking to the world before I give up my shares in your company. But that's just me. But some other people, they want their real peace of mind, so it's easier for them to separate. Go there, like totally remove themselves from it and forget about it, and yeah. But nah, man, money. We die here.
But that is the one that me, I don't understand. He sold all his shares and he moved along. I'm like, my guy, it's a tech company, and when you sold it, it was booming. You they mad? I was pained by the matter that he sold it. I need to sit these guys down. So I have questions. I have so many questions for you. Like, just there's many of them.
Let's talk about the friend who bought the shares and decided to keep it and say someday maybe he might come to his senses and come get it. Wait, or did I read that wrong?
Yes.
Yeah. So how many friends will be doing some shit like? Because if you sell your shares, my guy, please, I beg, don't go. Don't ever. Matter of fact, every time dividends hit, I make sure I carry you. Let's go and do it, and I whisper, yeah, this is your shares, oh, this is your shares. This is your shares, my guy. This is your shares.
I mean, even the other girl was, into the serial marriage. Like, what was his problem? Did he ever say what it was? Because I was like, am I missing? Did I miss him saying what his problem was?
It's just one of those people who don't know how to be alone.
Yeah.
It's codependency. They always have to have somebody.
He was targeted. No. He was specific. Every woman he married had an agenda. These Muslim girls, uncle was the one that boosted up their shares to what it was, that he got that much money. The other person, he needed a green card. He got an American citizenship, came back. The person after that started the tech company that he invested in it and they got the money. The Muslim girl, boosted the shares up, and then the last one, she was just freaking rich and he needed the money. And that was it. The guy it's not that he was trying to be alone. He was very calculative and targeted. The man planned his women. He did the research. Let's put it that way. So I don't know if it's one of those, but I had to be alone.
Money was his issue. Why did he not just stay with a Muslim girl? Well,
he collected
Money
and he
was
went there
not
with an
enough.
agenda. He got it. He went there
But it
with an
wasn't
agenda.
enough for him to just stay with her. Why did he have to go marry the other one who was rich? Like,
Man, if he went there and said that he wanted his shares to get to it, he wanted a government contract, he got it. The government contract was for 4 years or 5 years. He divorced the girl when the contract came up. He had the goal. He
It's
achieved
those
his goal.
people, yeah, it's those people who he, I think, there are these guys where they have to, his, what did they call this thing? Identity, like status. Because he was from a poor background.
Yes.
So it's that ambition
Yes.
to want to get, like, he was overcompensating. That's the word I'm looking for. He had to be with the most beautiful girl in the room. He had to be with the most connected woman. He had to be with, and I know that he knew his friend liked that Muslim girl. He did not care. He just had to have her because most of his friends grew with money. I feel like his identity was attached to the next big thing. Like, I have to be the one where people would look and be like, damn. And his babes were not easy babes. They were very good looking women that everybody was, once she enters the room, everybody turns. But he will get what he wants dropped in a heartbeat. I'm like, wow.
the other question I had was that, okay, from my understanding of divorce in the United States, it's not an easy process. So for him to do that 4 times, is it that it was easy to just get up and go and do whatever paperwork is required to end that marriage, or was it really not really a legal marriage in the sense? It was just
Man, he did in Nigeria. It was not he married only one person. All of them he married in Nigeria.
the one with the American citizenship wasn't with the green card. Who was that? Wasn't that here in the US?
She came here, collected, and they separated, and he came back to Nigeria, and he married other people.
Wouldn't he have had to be married for him to get the green card?
Mm-hmm.
He got it and got his citizenship. That's what the book said. What is
so? Yeah, my question is: was the divorce process because I'm like, that's process it.
Yeah, divorces take long only when there's a dispute, right? Like, if we don't have assets to share, if your partner is not contesting and non-contesting, if you guys don't have children, it's pretty easy.
I see.
All you have to do is do the wait period, then get called into court, and that whole thing is what? In 90 days you could be divorced.
Oh really? Oh, okay.
Yes, if it's a non-contest, in 90 days you are out clean.
Because some cases feel like you're pulling teeth. I'm like, wait, what am I missing? Okay.
Because the other person is arguing, they're dragging assets. Or there's something that they want that the other person doesn't want to give. And so until both partners come into agreement, the judge is not going to declare. So if you just hate somebody, just keep denying.
Like Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. I was reading this article.
Wait, that divorce?
Oh yeah, they're fighting about their
what planet are you living on?
They are fighting about their chateau in France.
Really?
It's not even the
winery.
Yeah, the winery. Yeah.
She went and sold her shares to a company.
Wow. All this marriage is just like
let's get back to the topic because we can get carried in now, and that divorce paints me like it's my divorce. Anyways.
Like divorce.
They paint me like my divorce, man. What the heck? Like women. Anyways, let's move on. See, where do we leave off? I'm confused now. I'm confused with this divorce matter.
The Syrian married. What call him Marita? Is that even a word? That guy who married had 4 marriages or married 4 women.
Yeah.
If let me ask everyone, this is for everybody, right? If you were to say what is a recurring theme, right? Or maybe societal issue or something throughout all these stories. What would you say that is? And is that a reflection of today's society? Saying that is fiction. Or is there any character that you relate to that, maybe you've been in their shoes on the other side?
I mean, in the entire book, right? All the 12 stories had something relationships with people. That was the thing. It was the first story was about a husband and a wife, where the husband was telling the wife to sleep with someone for money. The second story was about
That guy did not even try, Sha.
I mean, like, just a side note.
Like this other guy offered to give you a job, to even take the job and better yourself. No, he did not try. The wife went and did what you wanted, brought the money, and then, like, bro, he put on his shirt to go play golfing, whatever that thing he was with. And I was just like, really? And then now you want to act upset when you told her to do this, you brought the money, and you cannot even use that to make yourself better? Yeah, that first story just pissed me off. Yes. But then when I remember how it started, I was like, oh yeah, she had a justified reason to start doing, to say what she said or whatever.
Yeah, it was just
so wait, to that part right there. Did she have from the jump her expectations of a guy were they different from what she's seen? Did he say?
Not that I recall, because when they got married, he lost his job for 6 months, and he did not try to get another job. Even when
was it 3 or 6 years? 3 or 6 years past.
Yes.
Right.
It was a long time.
Yeah, it was a long time. So I guess my question to that is, you're sitting there for 6 years, and the man that you're married to is not having a job, and you are still sitting there. Please tell me, what are you looking for? Manna to fall from heaven? Are you looking for Mary to come and tell you that, you're about to give birth to the next Jesus? Like, in your brain, what is going on in there? What the Lulu is going on in there? Somebody please explain to me. Because the flip side I see that is, there are women out here that they are they just want to nap. Let me put it this way. I can find a better word, right? They just want to nap. And their husbands are rich that they just say, okay, go. When I think of situations like that, scenarios like that, and I think of this scenario, I cannot really differentiate both of them, because these are people that like what they like. Now it's for the other person to ask themselves, do I want to keep dealing with this, or should I get the fuck out of here? Now don't sit there and then start saying, man, you know who your husband is. Let's not be playing this thing. Sometimes they know who. Matter of fact, this book, most of these women knew who their husband was, and they sat there. Actually, that's the conclusion. They are mad.
In her defense, though. Go ahead, T.
No, go ahead. Continue.
In her defense, though, I would understand why she did not get up and go in the 6 years because she did know that he wasn't actively looking for a job, because there was a part where she told the rich man who came to keep buying, that she keeps her daughter because her husband is job searching. But she said it was a lie because she knew that he wasn't job searching. So she had kind of resolved to the fact that this thing of her daughter going to private school was going to be all on her. Now, the part that threw her off, which also threw me off, is that somebody came to give you a job in your nose, and all you had to do was write up a CV. You did not do it, or you did not even want to take the job. You told your wife to do this, to go bring the money, and even when the money came, there was no initiative for you to invest it or start something. None of that. You decided that, you know what? Okay, your ego has been tampered because somebody else serviced your wife, and now you're pissed. It was your idea. So in that sense, at that point, to me, I feel like she was justified to leave, but to threaten him the way she did. Up until that point, I kind of gave her some kind of like, you know what, you were trying your best. At this point, if she had stayed with him after him sleeping around, then I'd have been like, you know what, you're really choosing this.
I think she should have left. She should have left when he told her to go sleep with the man for the favors.
Yep.
Because even on the other side, with the man proposing and she felt like the man disrespected her, in my head, I'm like, you fucking dumb. Like, I don't see, like, it's a proposal. Ain't nobody put a gun to your head that you gotta do this. Like, are we just walking around now feeling, what's the word? From any and everything? Like, come on, man. I could come and propose anything to you. Matter of fact, I could come and propose that, yo, you know what, ship all your hand, give it to me for 1 million. Why would you feel offended? It's up to you to say, no, I don't want to shave my hair. Thank you, Papa. I'll keep my hair, take your 1 million and vanish. Why do we feel see, blessings come in many different ways, shapes, and forms. Just because that is sexual does not mean that it's not a blessing. You know what I mean? Maybe it will be something that even like your wall said, you probably enjoy more than you have ever enjoyed your entire life.
She did, though. She had the best sex of her life.
She did.
And it came with what, 2.8 million naira.
Yes.
Just dropped like that. Meanwhile, the agreement was what, just 2 million naira. And then he took the 800 there because that was her thing to start up her grocery store.
Her business.
Yeah, so
but AK, you bring up a really important subject here, right? With when you said all these women in this book knew who their husband. Is that a reflection of society's pressure for women to be and stay married? Because a lot of these people should not have been married, should not have stayed married, but they did. And broke all kinds of compromises, broke all kinds of principles, supported the wrong things. So you think that's a reflection of society's pressure on women to stay married? Or no? Or that's
yes and no. Yes and no. Staying in to me, staying in marriage is not in this day and age. I don't consider societal pressure anymore. In this day and age, I don't consider it societal pressure anymore. If in anything, it's just somebody. If in anything, it's just the individual being. I don't want to use the word naive, but not being in tune with their surrounding. You know, it's either they don't want to educate themselves on what's going on in society now, or they're just being oblivious to what's going on in society now. Because we cannot sit and with all the technology that's going on, right? With all the technology, with all the communication, with everything that's going online, you cannot sit and say that I did not know. There was a point in time when you could barely tell what's going on in the next continent because social media was not there. There were no phones for people to just text or WhatsApp for people to just text easily. You need to get a phone card to call somebody across, the waters. Phones now are able to have books on them, audio books for people to read. For those who go to therapy, they go to therapy, right? They could go channel all these different. So what excuse do some people have to say, oh, societal pressures? What pressure? Again, most of us, our parents have said, oh, you should do that. Did they ever hold a gun to our head that we must? Anyways, anybody whose parents ever held a gun to their head, please put your hand up in the chat. I'll feel sorry for you till then. Ain't nobody fucking come to me with that shit, talk about societal pressures. We all feel pressure every now and then. Societal pressure some of us to go and make money. Are we the billionaires that we are? So is that one now that is supposed to all of a sudden be because it has to do with what touchy feelings? Now beg. Let's all just respect ourselves. Anyway, so I see that question. That's what I think.
You know what? I'll say this, and you've given a typical male answer. And I think the ladies know exactly what I'm talking about, right? It's not to say that perspective is not valid, right? It's just different from what we women see. Now, I agree with you when you say society at large, nobody's checking for that anymore. Divorce now is
higher.
Yeah, divorce now is higher. People are getting more open to being divorced. But if you come down to the niche of society, which is our families, our communities that we live in, they still frown at women for walking away from marriage. Very
Even
much
if
so.
it was the man's fault.
Even if it was the man's fault, it's always your fault. You did not persevere enough.
No.
There was always something you could have done. It's still very much a thing for women, right? Maybe not as much for men, but it would always, I think it's still very much a thing for women. And I feel like at the end of the day, some of them, sometimes you have to damn the consequences and do what's good for you. But at the end of the day, especially if you're back home, that overriding pressure of you are married, stay married. If you leave, you are a failure as a whole. Nobody is touching you with a 10-foot pole. So I think
we don't go through those pressures too?
You do. That's why I said that your opinion is valid, right? But it's easier in my opinion, and I've seen this, for men to be like, damn these consequences, than for it to be a woman.
So this is the thing. I agree with you too. But this is the thing. You are putting so much emotions in front of it. Not you per se, but I'm saying women put so much emotions in front of it, right? Thinking that the world really gives a shit. After 5 days, nobody gives a fuck. Think about it. After 5 days of people saying this and the third, nobody cares again. You are your own. Matter of fact, you've even been on your own. People just stop because that they feel the ick, the urge to speak. None of them is paying your bills. None of them is there to pay for the divorce settlement. None of them is there to even help transport you there. You do your Uber. Why the fuck you care so much? Why do you care so much? Well, I'm helping you guys. I am helping you guys not to. It's not that I'm giving a typical male answer. I'm just simply saying that you are putting the care in the wrong place. You cannot sit and say, I'm fierce, I'm intelligent, I can do this by myself. And then when it comes down to the part where you have to act, you say, oh, society put pressure. Matter of fact, for all of you, not you guys again here, but don't let people that sit and be saying, society, let the pressure really kill you there. You understand? Let the pressure really kill you there. I'll conclude like that. Because there's so many things that we could be pressured about. We could be pressured about Christianity. How is your faith? Has anybody ever pressured you about that? But it's divorce that you want to be so pressured about, and AK should give a fuck. I'm sorry, I don't. I really don't.
We're bringing everything full circle in that light, right? If in this book, while we're, rounding up discussion, unless there's something else that somebody wanted to talk about. If
go and read the 12 short stories.
The Jide story, though, it did not. It was kind of like blah. Jide, the people who met on the flight.
Oh yeah, with the mama's boy.
Yeah, and I was like, what was that?
See, that story, right? I'm sorry, guys, can you hear me? Because my internet.
Yes, loud and clear. Yeah.
So that story, I kind of respected the girl at the end, if anything, because she was true and she did not drag that man through the pain. Like he did get permission from his mom. The mother too was moving mad. The mother had her reasons. You cannot blame her for that. Those were her reasons and they're valid. And the fact that she did tell the guy, I do love you, but I don't think very I mean, there are reasons though. You cannot your reasons are your reasons. It makes sense to you. It may not make sense to me, but it makes sense to you. It made sense to the mother. In her head, she was justified in whatever she was doing. To the rest of the world is, what are you saying? You get?
So she'd rather be her son be unhappy because she wants to.
That's the mother again.
Let's talk about this. Some of these mothers and their sons.
This is the mother's reason.
Society problem right there. So, because you think that you are the only one who has raised a child single-handedly. The woman who is coming to marry a child, she fell from a tree, Abby. Because some of this, I'm serious, it's a real problem. Some of these single mothers who raise sons. Granted, I understand, I have mad respect for your mom for raising you and for putting all the energy. but she got to cut that cord at some point. She has to let go. Your son cannot be the man in your life. That was Jide's problem. He cannot be the man in your life, for crying out loud. Jesus.
So how? You mean
Okay,
he married the woman? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
All right.
I'll
sorry.
come last.
I was gonna ask, right? So the conditions, when she approved it, right? The girl she was a little bit, she retaliated with because the rules that the woman gave, she really did not follow it. But if they got married, right, that girl was going to stay in the house. She was not allowed to change the house the way she wanted. She had to follow certain rules. The mother was, in case, granted, this is a grown man, lives in the house with his mother in the
It's not even
backside.
the problem to me.
That man was
That was not even the problem.
You understand? She was not, he's never gonna leave his mother. You as a wife, do you feel comfortable standing between your husband and the mother?
Oh no, I'll be out there.
That's a good
I'm not dealing
question.
with that.
Yes.
I'm not dealing with that, so I'll be out.
Yes, that's the thing. So that's why I say I had a lot of respect for her because she loved that man enough and respected his family enough to stand and say that a year, 2 years from now. Because whatever that woman does, she will be taking it out on her husband, and it's not fair to the guy either. Because all he does is he loves his wife and he loves his mother. You cannot put him in between. So she made a choice for him. She made a choice for herself and said, "I don't want that life," and she bound.
Let him go. There will be a woman who will agree to all of that.
Yes, there will be. There was not for her.
But it just wouldn't be me. That's what you said. Yeah.
Did you say that she made a choice for her and her alone, or she made a choice for him to include it?
No, I said she made a choice for her. For her, she made a choice for herself.
Thank you for that correction. Thank you.
She made her choice for herself. Okay. She chose that. She did not want to go through that life. She did not want to be and I respected that. I understood that. That's why I was like, I had respect for her because she's gonna make that man's life miserable, man. So just
do not go like the other women and say that I can change his mind.
Thank you.
Down the
She
line.
did not do that because a lot of people go in there because the man has money. The family has money. Oh, I'm going to change the man. I'm going to show my mother-in-law. I'm like, this is that man's mother. You're going to show him what?
I used to say that.
Yeah.
We used to say that if he married the girl that his mother wanted, it would be any better. It would be any happier.
Listen, I don't know. I don't want to know. The woman has said, and the man has showed you how it goes.
She had already started and saying she was not his preference, but it looks like my son likes you, so I'm a tolerate your ass.
When you marry somebody, you marry their family, whether you like it or not. We're Africans.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I applaud her I applaud Jide for making that choice. My question is, what makes the mother think that the person she wanted the son to marry? Because if she truly loved the son, she would want the son to be happy. So what makes her think that the choice she had for him would make him happy?
I don't think that
was about her. She was overprotective over her son because I feel like she wanted to, sometimes we love people so much that we tend to not want to let them go, right? And then that love, it crosses that line into obsession. If you hold on, anything you hold on too tight and you don't want to let go, that's not love. That at that point is obsession. And so she was very overprotective, seeing that it had just been she and her son, and her husband died and the family took everything. So she was just trying to protect him for as long as she could, but she did not know where that line was supposed to end. And that's why he was a grown man and she was still making those decisions for him. That's what I think.
So, but she gave it though. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm being worried.
No, you guys go ahead because
I want to hear you because it's like you are boiling over there. So
I'm not boiling.
What said she gave in? What did she give into?
She did. So okay, she said no. When the festival came, she was very hostile towards this girl. She looked down on her. She wasn't welcoming at all. She was not welcome at all. But
didn't like the way the girl dressed, didn't like that she was from a different tribe.
None of that. And she was very vocal about it. But it seems like, and then I think she and the guy went like a week or so without talking. Oh, yeah. So he came back to her, right? The woman gave in because I think the son went and had a conversation like, I don't know, they didn't say in the book, but I'm assuming he did like, this is my life, and yam done. And that's why she brought the girl and the girl came, and because the girl came in how she dressed, and the mother said, I see you're a fighter. I like that. Like, you didn't just push back. You push back. You just didn't mellow into what I said. And then she went ahead and she explained, she had another conversation. And then at the end she said, but I did agree. I did approve of your marriage. I did say it's okay for you guys to get married. She did approve of it.
Yeah,
but
that statement alone to me was my red flag.
Yes. I think it flagged the girl. She told the reasons why she acted the way she did, explain that's where she's coming from, so she can understand her, and said, but I did approve because he did say he loved you, he's in love with you. And
to me, money picking when I shout red flag.
No, yes.
And to me, and she said to him, his happiness, he said he loves you, your happiness is important. But she gave conditions. As a woman, I'm gonna need you to stay in this house. You cannot redecorate my house. You cannot do XYZ. You cannot. You have to carry the image. You cannot. They give you 20. You cannot. My sister, collect. They go. It's not going to change. Just they go. So she did. The mother did respect the son and said he loved her. So go ahead and do it. But she had just conditions attached to it that the son did not know about. So
let me sound like somebody on here. That sounds like a typical woman response. You know why? Because, anyways, how are we even debating this? There are some things that, as a man, I will not understand from a woman's perspective, and from a woman's perspective, you will not understand. I mean, as a woman, you not understand from a man's perspective. You know what I mean? But I can tell you this though: someday you'll be blessed with the opportunity to maybe experience that, right? And I dare somebody else to come and tell you, the person who has been raising this human being for X amount of time, that you know very well, you know their strength, their weaknesses, all these different things. Let somebody else come in and try to turn around something that you have put together. You have been trying to put together. Something that
what did this guy try to turn around exactly?
Something that you know has potential to be in another place. Now, I'm not saying that, he's not entitled to be with whomever he wants to be with, but the mom too can also tell him that, I think that this person could be a match for you, especially from where we come from. I think it's perfect. I don't think it's perfectly okay. It is very perfectly okay. And secondly, it's just my own belief. If a woman walks into the crib, like in this book, and you are damn near half naked in front of my parents, you lost your fucking mind. Like, some shit has gone nuts in your head. You even dare try to do some shit like that. There's respect where will come from. I don't care whether you think that, you can. No, just respect yourself. Dress the nicest way that you can. And after this encounter, you can go back to whatever attire that you are dressing. For all I care. But in this particular moment right here, dress accordingly. When you come to meet the parents, it's not a hard thing. Whether
but
you want
she
to
did dress accordingly, though. She did.
Right. Because the
it
mom
was
said
it was the second time.
No, it was
first
the first time.
First of all, the first time she dressed well, because the guy said the mom is a church, whatever. She dressed, she wore a skirt and a thing. The first problem was, you don't meet someone and you're that condescending. I don't care if this is your mother. I would not have my mother talk down to anybody. She was very condescending from the jump. Looked at her up and down, made that girl feel uncomfortable, and said things there. That's why when she left, she didn't talk to the guy for a week.
She had all the right not to talk to the guy. She had all the, first of all, let me shift the mom to the side. You understand? Shift the mom to the side. There was one mistake that was made there in anything. Ownership was supposed to be made with the type of person that you're with. The guy had no business saying, I'm with a geologist or whatever the fuck he said when she was a writer. Own it immediately. Let's shift the mom to the side. Own it immediately, because that's if you really want this other person to take this person with serious, you have to stand your ground.
You have to sell them. Yeah.
You have to stand your ground. So if you already starting by lying, by saying they're this thing that they're not, you know damn well that they're not this thing, but you said that. I don't really think that, for this particular story, the blame to me it should not be put on the mom, it should be put on the guy. Because one, you also know who your mom is. You also know who your mom
That
is.
part.
You never took the time to vet your mom first, prepare her to bring this other person into the mix. You rushed it. What did you expect was going to happen?
Well, he didn't have a spine, so I don't know. There was no vetting that was gonna. The mom would just have to choose. The mom would just have to choose who he marries.
Hey, listen. Sometimes I'm gonna say this, whether some people want to believe it or not. But what an old person would see sitting down in certain situations, a young person would never see. Even if they're standing at the highest ladder, they would never
Depend on
see.
the old person, no. Depend on
That's
the
what I'm
old
saying.
person.
That's what I'm saying. What an old person. When I say
It
old
depends.
person, in this particular situation, we are talking about parents. In this particular situation, we talk about parents. There's just some parents that you cannot put. Like, anyways, people's parents are people's parents. My parents, I cannot not attribute that statement to them. I don't know
There
about
you
other
go.
people's parents.
Now that makes
But
more
my
sense.
own, I can attribute that to them perfectly. And to most of my older aunties, uncles, or older parents in the family, I guess, for the lack of a better word. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I could attribute that. So sometimes me doing what I'm doing is define what others have, like older folks say, hey, you should. No, because I want to have my own experiences. But it does not change the fact that I might see what they are saying.
Seek counsel, yeah.
You know what I mean? Seek it and see it. I might see it like, yo, they really say, but hey, I am only human and I want to feel and make my own mistakes. So guess what? Oh, okay, that thing will burn. Yeah. Oh, damn, it actually did burn. You know what I mean? Tough shit. So, hey, I don't know about other people. That's just me though. But at the same time, I don't really think I should put the blame on the mother. The guy should have prepped the mom, prepped the girl, asked necessary questions, made sure that, oh, yo, this sale that I'm about to sell to my mom, we understand and we know why we are selling this, and then go together and do it. Don't just rush and do it, and then now you're sitting there.
She walked in blindly.
Yeah.
He did not prepare for that. I still blame the
like
mother.
she said, he didn't have a spine, so he wouldn't have known how to prepare his mother or prepare the girl.
He know how he'd have prepared his mom. He just wanted to take the easy way out. That's really what it is.
That's what it is. Yeah.
It was one of those things that, you play your hand to see if it would hit or not. And they did not. And then he felt it. So, yeah.
I mean, in that light, right? If there's one person in the book that each person, one.
Look at me sorting a woman in this episode. Wahala. You guys should clap for me. Clap for me.
We'll give you your flowers. One person only in the book that you would give and that you would give a piece of advice to. Who would it be?
The one who did not listen to the guy who said he didn't want to get married. Hear the guy and hear him out and leave him alone. That's it. He didn't say it once. He said it more than once, and I didn't know if he needed to be drilled into his core, but that's my story.
To all the women that were cheated on in the book. Now, let me say this with my full chest. You sat there and you thought Jesus will come back and change that man for you. Really though? And then at the end now you are hurt. And nigga, why? Is it just me, or is it that something is not making sense? Because you know what you are dealing with. You really know what you're dealing with. But yet again, somehow, somewhere you find yourself hurt. And somebody should explain this shit to me. If we're talking about,
I mean, maybe in their defense, I don't know if this is a hypothetical assumption. Maybe they're hoping that it was just a one-time thing, it will not happen again. And boom.
How many times is enough?
I don't know. It's different strokes for different folks.
Usually after the first time, but we know the year word. We get kukono.
Because that lady that
once bitten, twice shy.
No, it's a
Some
lie.
people, they need more than once.
This was they beat them like 15 times, even 57, and then the shy came the 77th time. But that lady that got her husband on the house help, right? Let me ask you guys this. You know your husband is like that. What business are you bringing a vixen, a video vixen as a house help to your house? Because the description of that house help, I was like, damn, I mean, like, yo, house help deal. Yeah, cargo. And then you go and bring the house help and put in your house. That you know your husband know the season thing pass in turn up.
She have faith that the man will at least have some decorum and not do it in their house.
And the man had been asleep for a couple of years. Remember, he said he was not doing it, that he had changed. So.
Remember, she said she knows that he was sleeping with the secretary. Come on now.
You have given the women flowers. You want to take it back now.
Take it back.
Babs, who are you advising, Babs? Forget AK. You give with the right hand, slap it with the left hand. Babs, give your own advice. Forget that guy.
Oh, let me see. I think Mane kind of touched on my first person. The person I wanted to talk to was the lady that that story that the guy
Okay, find somebody else alone.
the guy, the lady, the girl that decided to go meet white men.
That story, oh my god.
She went and met that Russian when she said, get the fuck out of my house. You know, see, man.
I felt bad for her.
What would be the advice?
That was a hilarious story, man.
What would be the advice?
Save the best for last.
Yo, that girl.
And you know, the way she narrated that story, her accent, the way she narrated that story, man, I had to listen to it twice because I was like, nah, man. But go ahead, Barbara. What was the advice?
No, I was just gonna tell that she baby go chill. You went the first time, no, the second time they said that relax. She just kept going.
And her hats off. She tried. No,
She tried. Maybe the Lagos men are running away from a lot better than the Oyibo ones going for chills.
Must be something in the air.
There was something in the air
Because even the white people were not exempt.
I tell
Yeah, Lord. I mean, we're wrapping up. Any final words, conclusions? Will you recommend this book?
Hell yeah. 100%. What's the title again?
Nearly all
Nearly
the
all
men.
men. Yeah.
Nearly
Picking
all
up
the
now.
men in Inheritance and Man.
We'll give it 5 star, even though it's 10 fingers, but we'll give it 5 star. 5-star review.
The book is funny. It keeps you on your toes. You just want to read more stories. I think it's very relatable. You know somebody in your life that has gone through shaggy like that. And it's not just applicable. I think the stories, right? It's not just in the African community. Even go through the nonsense that these people are going through. The stories are just so relatable. So I think if you're not a reader, just grab the book and read it. If you get Audible or something and listen to it, it's gonna make you laugh, and then you're just gonna be like, what now? The entire time. So it's
that story of the man who was married and then he had his full-time girlfriend, and then he was upset when she found him.
Can we talk about that one?
No, we don't have time.
We really don't have time. And there's also the story of the girl who got raped. Man,
That part.
because
But
of she said she got taken advantage of because of something she used. Oh, what did you say?
We just said we don't have time. Don't start something we will not finish.
Anyways, yeah, go.
Let the
Anyways.
listeners leave them. Let them go and read some.
Oh, yeah.
No, give them anything.
My own conclusion is, guys, for every story you hear, just know there's a fellow that has, dealt with the opposite too. So don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Guys go through the same thing too, just that we don't talk about it much because we are shy for some reason that will laugh at you for I don't know what.
Yeah, because your friends will laugh at you.
Oh, trust me, I'll be the number one to laugh very well. I will not even hold back, But
All right.
like how my friend won't tell me, "Guy, I got cheated on," and I'm supposed to feel. So I'm supposed to be like, "Oh God." I'm like, "Guy, what happened?" And then
That's why you people's suicide rate is high. Anyways, that's a discussion for another day. Well, folks, you heard it all. 5 stars across the board. Today's book was Nearly All the Men in Lagos. These people will not let me go through. Anyways, thanks for rocking with us. Again, the book we just discussed is titled Nearly All the Men in Lagos Are Mad by Damilare Kuku. It's more than just a collection of stories. It's a mirror reflecting complexities of modern love and relationship. We have laughed, cursed, blamed, and we've been emotional, but we urge read the book. We did not discuss all the stories in the book, so go read the book, drop us a note, and hope you join us next year. I hope so. Again, read. That's it. That's all I got. Connect with us on social media, please. I almost forgot that part. Okay? IG, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe to our page. Palm One
TikTok next
Central.
year, so.
Oh yeah, there's that. Well, we'll be somewhere else. We're on Threads too. We're on Threads and X. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay? It's free to subscribe, to like, and to share. People are there sharing shade room things. You cannot share your own things. Support us, okay? Please. We love how do they do that thing on our day. I don't know, but something like that makes it hard. Whatever.
If you don't have what you call it, Audible, this book is actually on YouTube, so you can go listen to it on YouTube.
There you go.
Nice.
I found out yesterday. Yeah, I don't know what.
And if you have Spotify Premium, those who say they cannot buy a book, you have Spotify Premium, you get one free book a month to listen. Or you register at your local library.
Well, yeah, Audible gives you. Well, I have the subscription that's every other month, 1 credit every other month. So, do it. YouTube, there are free books on there. So there's
a free version of any book somewhere. Believe
me. Yeah. And some of you said that. I cannot read. I don't have time to read. But you have time to sit and watch all the music videos YouTube can offer you. That will span 5 hours. I'm not talking about you are
Speak on it, brother Akondi. Speak on it.
You understand? So don't tell me that nonsense. Just say that I don't want
Netflix
to read.
and chill.
There you go. Do
audiobooks. You put it while you're driving, and there you go. I mean, if you're new to reading, a book is better. But if you've been a seasoned reader, just plug in some audiobook and like listening to music in your car when you're driving. Plug in some audiobook.
You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you guys a new hack, guys. A new hack. Have you ever been blowing somebody's back out while reading a book? Try it and come and tell us how it feels. Don't just take my word for it. Try it. Read a book today and tomorrow.
Oh, Jesus.
Enjoy reading. Thank you.
Anyways, join our book club. And same time next year, you would have read 12 books. So there you go. Easy. All right.
So let's recount. We started the year off with that Mami's book, Sabotage Something.
No, that was last year.
Last year.
Damn, we've been doing this thing for 2 years.
You started, I think it was in the fall. So in
the fall of last year, right?
Yeah. In January, we did.
How can you say in the fall? You say January.
No, I said we're trying to run through books we've read this year, right?
This year,
We
yeah.
started
okay.
the year with
Let
Baba
me just start
Shege.
it. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
really?
Yes, Baba
I could have
Shege.
sworn
Then
we
we
started this
went.
thing this year. But sorry, go
No,
ahead.
That was last year in the
started
fall.
with Baba Shege. Then we went to Behold the Dreamers.
Mm-hmm.
Then we went to Say You Swear. Then we
Mm-hmm.
went to Gabriel Unions. We're gonna need more wine. Then
Dang,
we
T,
went
your memory
to.
is fine.
I just
I'm just looking at
looked.
like,
I
She's
just
reading.
looked it
She's
up.
reading from somewhere. She's reading
oh,
from somewhere.
because I'm like,
Keep
what
going.
the heck? I mean,
Keep
the
going.
books are like they're in order, but I'm like, how are
It
you
is.
having them in order?
I
Don't
remember where
worry.
she's
Don't
getting it
worry
from.
about
I
it,
remember.
sweetheart.
Go
Then
ahead.
we went to Sheila Johnson's Walk Through Fire. Then we did The Bait of Satan by John Bevere.
Woo!
I think it was. Then we did the 12-week year, which some people have not implemented. Then we went to Tuesdays with Maurice Mitchell album. Then we did Boundaries, Doctors, John Townsend and Cloud. Then we went to Big Gretch. And before I let go, and now we're closing with Nearly All the Men in Lagos are Mad. We'll have a post up to give a recap, check the books out.
What are we reading next?
Hey, I have a book. We are gonna start Brianna Weiss. Can you hold that one? I want us to start the new year with
Not that woman again. Jeez.
Brianna
I
Weiss.
just had surgery hearing her name.
No, that's exactly why I want us to read this
Yeah,
book.
because the other book we read about her was your recommendation, right? That book
was-
messed me up, man. It's not adding up.
So that book
What
messed
is
me up.
this
like that.
title?
Brianna Weiss, when you're ready, this is how you heal.
Damn.
What's the title?
When you're ready, this is how you heal.
Jesus Lord.
By Brianna Weiss. I think that's how you say her last name.
If you guys don't want to go for that one, I have one.
Who drove nearly? Oh wow.
Don't start the year with madness. I don't want a mad year, please.
Can we start light? That book literally has just raised my blood pressure. Can we do it? We can do it in February for Valentine's. It's going to be in line with Valentine's Day.
No,
please.
which one? No, that
That
one is good to start the year. Why are
Jesus.
people fighting? Start the year right.
Start on a lighter note. Don't be giving people heart surgery in January, man.
I went and bought the German version of that book. It's reading to me in German.
How do you buy the book in German?
It's special like that.
Oh, you by accident? Oh my God. You can return it, right? If you've not started.
Anyways, guys, we'll figure it out and let you guys know what we are reading next. Till then, what do we say? Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you, and you. And if you're not subscribed, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button. Yes, I said it. Please do us a favor and hit that subscribe button.
All right. And we out.